What's going on, guys? This is Uche and Joku, and this is the Sneaker Principle Podcast. However, right now, I am not doing a podcast. I'm actually going to talk to you about something that happened to me recently that was insane, at least for me, and especially in the space of content creating. Quick question. Have you had an issue where you're working on recording on your RØDECaster Pro, and all of a sudden you're getting that double audio or that echo, and you just can't figure out where it's coming from? That happened to me last night, right before I was about to go on a live stream of my podcast. I literally had 10 minutes to go, and I couldn't figure out the life of me why my guest host's audio was like complete echo, and everything else that I was putting out was complete echo. The only thing that wasn't echoing was me. So yeah, it was ugh. But you know what though? Let's go ahead and start the show.
And now he's been promoted. His job, principal.
So I want to keep this really short. I know you're hearing the crying in the background. It's my daughter. She doesn't want to eat her breakfast. My wife is with her, so no one over here is being abused or anything like that. It's just a 2-year-old. So real quick, last night I was getting ready to go on live. 15 minutes early, my guest host called in. And we're using Ecamm Live as our platform. And of course, the interview feature is like amazing. Like I just sent him the link. He logged on, and this is my second time using it. I had a previous podcast, and it went without a hitch. It was amazing, and he jumps on, and the first time I asked him, "How's the audio?" And he's like, "It's double. It's echo. There's an echo there." And I was like, "What do you mean there's an echo there?" I've never had that problem, period. I've had multiple guests on this podcast. Actually, last night was my 43rd episode. So I was like, what are you talking about? I used the almighty RØDECaster Pro, this beauty of a machine right here, and love it. I mean, it's like, if you are doing podcasts, especially if you're a novice or you're new to the game and you don't have one of these, I don't know what to say to you, apart from like the cost, but it's an amazing machine. So we're sitting there minutes to go before we go on live, and there's no audio, and I'm thinking like, what is going on here? So I was like, okay, fine, this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and jump on, but this time the podcast starts at 10 o'clock. It was already 9:59. I actually didn't even get to go until 10:02, 10:03. As you can imagine, if people are already showing up and nothing's happening, they're going to leave. So I went ahead and jumped on, and we started without any with the double audio going on his part. So that's my GoPro. That's the beep you just heard going off. So we started, and we're recording, and the whole entire time I'm just trying to ask myself what's going on here. So we made it through the whole entire show with that double audio echo all the way through, and afterwards, and it was an hour 16 minutes long. Afterwards, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to figure this out. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. And by this time, it's about 11:30, and I'm like, okay, I gotta figure this out tonight. I'm one of those people who's just obsessed, and if there's an issue, I gotta fix it. So I went ahead and started looking through the software, but I thought it was a software issue, because I've never had any problem with my RØDECaster Pro. So I went through the software, and I couldn't figure out what's going on. And I unplugged everything, plugged it back on. And then I thought maybe it's something wrong with Ecamm Live. Maybe it's corrupted somehow. So I decided to uninstall, of course, which meant I lost all of my scenes that I created. I created for 3 different uses that I have: my podcast, my sneaker reviews, and my classes that I teach. And all that stuff was set up in Ecamm Live, all gone. I reinstalled, and guess what? There was still a double echo going on. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So you can imagine I'm literally burning midnight oil. It's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I still can't figure out what's going on here. And eventually I was like, okay, it's my RØDECaster Pro broken, because I haven't changed any settings on here at all. Everything is the way it's been since I bought it, and it's been working perfectly. I'm one of those people who's just superstitious. If it's working, don't tweak it. Just leave it alone, right? So let me show you what I ended up doing. Make sure my camera here is okay. It's on. So let me show you what I was looking at in my RØDECaster Pro. So here it goes right here. So I went in and I was like, okay, what could be the issue? And the first thing I did was like, you know what? I've already uninstalled and reset everything else. Let me just reset my RØDECaster Pro. So I went ahead and reset it. Came back on, tried recording, and I still getting that double echo. And then I was like, okay. Then I'm looking at Ecamm Live, and all of a sudden, for the first time, I'm noticing that on my screen, there's something happening there that I didn't notice before. So let me show you let me do a demo, a live demo of my screen, so you can see what I'm talking about. So install later. So right here, right now you're seeing the sound level, and you're seeing just the RØDECaster Pro, you know, bouncing up and down, and that's me talking. Let me stop talking, and I start talking. That's me right there. But I was noticing with my sound effects, because I had music playing in some of my scenes, that would be bouncing up here, it would be bouncing up there. Then it dawned on me. I had seen this, but I guess I was just riddled with anxiety at the time, that my co-guest, my guest host was what I remember, like, yeah, his was bouncing as well down here while that was bouncing at the same time. So does that mean that what's being put out there is the RØDECaster Pro's audio and that individual line of audio at the same time, which was confusing to me, because I'm thinking, if it's coming out of the same system, why would it do that? And of course, I'm not an expert in audio, so I was like, okay, what's going on here? So that was the mystery I needed to solve. But then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about the word mix minus, because mix minus was supposed to prevent a listener from hearing the audio, double audio. So it's almost like my guest host was hearing was what I wasn't hearing, because it was coming to him. It was like this feedback loop. So he was hearing himself. And then after I had recorded, after the session, I went back and listened. I listened that it was on the recording throughout the whole recording. Everything he said was doubled up. Any audio that I pumped out through Ecamm and RØDECaster Pro was all doubled up. And I was like, damn, okay. So how do I fix that? So I had to now explore the RØDECaster Pro. But mind you, since my original setup, I had not touched anything. So I'm going to show you right now what I did. So I went into, of course, settings. And I went through my channels, and I was like, it can't be the channels. That's like pretty set. Podcasts, that's set. My sounds, that's that was like, okay, advanced. And this is a space I tend not to go into, because I'm just like, I don't want to mess anything up. So I went through everything, and I went to audio eventually. I went to my multi-track, and I looked at that, and I was like, I don't think there's anything here that I need to adjust personally. So I was like, okay, fine. So then I went to let me see here. Let me get out of this live demo. Okay, so then I went to operations, and I was like, okay, I looked at this stuff here, and I was like, there's nothing here that I feel like I need to touch as well, right? I did enable the pre-fade listen, and also the broadcast meters. I prefer that, and I had done, and I had that set up previously. So then I was like, okay, the final frontier, right? I was like, processing. So last night, this is what it looked like when I went in there. And I saw, the first one up here is mix minus. It says USB mix minus. And I was like, could it be that? I turned it on. And then I went ahead and turned on everything else, because the ducking I wanted, the TRS output 6 decibels I wanted, because I do use that output jack, the output input for my cell phone when I play music. And then I was like, bump that. Let me go ahead and just add the effects edit mode. So I did all that, went back, recorded, and guess what happened? No double audio, no echo. And the crazy thing about it is this: I searched everywhere. I went on YouTube, and I went on Google. I was reading everything on Ecamm Live everywhere, and I couldn't find anything having to do with this. And maybe I'm such a novice that maybe it only happened to me, but I thought I'd broken RØDECaster Pro. I was looking at my bank account, getting ready to buy another one. And it was just that. The other thing I don't understand is how it happened, because I didn't turn it off. Then I thought maybe I did a firmware update a while back. Did it do an auto update when I wasn't paying attention? Like, I didn't understand, but that was what it was. And I've recorded 3 times since yesterday over the course of the last week, and that never happened, not even once. So I just wanted to share this with you. If you find yourself all of a sudden your RØDECaster Pro, you're recording, you're getting that double audio, and you're trying to figure out what's going on here, there's a good chance that your USB mix minus might have been turned off. I don't know how that could have happened in my case, or maybe in your case, it may be turned off, or it was never put on, or maybe a firmware update now made it kind of automatically turn it off, so you have to manually turn it back on. I don't know, but I just felt like I need to put this out there, because yesterday I was so frustrated, and I went through so many, like a good hour of just reading and watching, trying to dig through YouTube and the internet, trying to find a solution. And luckily I was able to find a solution just from exploring my gear myself. So that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully this is helpful to someone out there. Guys, do me a favor. If any of this is helpful to you, or you love people talking about education because you have kids and you have nieces and nephews, and you just want to see the babies do well in life, or you're a sneakerhead, or you are believing in financial literacy, please do me a favor and go ahead and just subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that when new content comes out, that you have access to it. And I actually kind of enjoy doing this whole mystery time on tech, and maybe I might include technology as part of my repertoire as well. So with that being said, guys, thank you again. Be well, and I will see you next time.
And now he's been promoted. His job, principal.
Let's see it.